So, Bubba, I got to ask you, because, true to form, I did ask Tuttle. I was like, hey, I want to do this chatting with the Masters with Bubba after we do the show. And I'm like, what's in play here? What questions should I stay away from? And Tuttle's
There's
like,
nothing.
I was like, you can ask him anything.
I did.
Anything.
Yeah, and I'm like, you can ask. I'm like, really? Anything? And like,
Any fucking thing. Like if you, in fact, I'll tell you why I'm going to get mad at you, Chisholm, is if I found out you didn't ask me a question because you were afraid to fucking ask me, our friendship's over. Like if you're holding anything back and I find out, we're done.
So
there's that genuine hardcore coming out again. You like that abuse, don't you?
Yeah. Well, no, but like I'm saying, like if I can't answer, and I'll be like, you know what, Tommy, I can't answer, buddy.
But, yeah. Because the asking.
But I'm not going to get fucking mad at you.
Because
I'm asking for you to piss on my face. So
that's fair.
Because there's legal things in play. That
of course,
But ask it, motherfucker. Don't be a pussy.
That's fair.
Well, I was going to ask you.
Bring it, bitch.
Okay, so because.
Oh, you're not bringing it.
Your whole life and your radio career. And
he's fucking locking up.
No. And Howard Stern.
Hit the horn one time. That'll get him going. There we go. All right, you feel better?
All right, here we go. Blow it out, cousin.
And Howard Stern has always been a genius when it comes to getting media, obviously the king of all media and everything. And so, but there's a fine line of you push past the point of
we've kept 680 people on the 680.
Yeah, I know.
That's pretty fucking good, isn't it?
Is that good?
So,
is that good by your standards? Like, would that be good for you for a show for you guys?
Well, what? We get like 25 people. What the fuck are you talking about?
No, I'm serious. Like, this isn't too bad.
This is great.
Yeah, this is fun, man.
Okay, so I'll make it fast. So,
I'll take it. You know what? We can go as long as we fucking want, cousin.
Was the Hulk Hogan sex tape whole thing? Was that the biggest national media you've ever received and the most attention you've ever received?
Probably, unfortunately, not. Yes, but not in a fucking good. It has fucked me over because people don't know what really fucking happened. I mean, I bet you guys don't even really fucking know what really happened. We talked about this yesterday, and it caused me a little anguish because a lot of our listeners are sick of hearing it because they think that I try to make excuses for what happened. And I'm like, I'm not making any fucking excuses. I'm the one that's got set here holding the shit bag. Like, it's fucked my world. You think I'm proud of that? Like, that fucked my whole world up.
Yeah, I think the perception is by the outside audience is that you revel in this and you liked it and this was a victory for you.
Oh, and here's my understanding of what the average guy, and you guys are radio guys.
Yeah.
So I actually think that even the actual radio guy thinks that this is what happened. And you guys tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Bubba the Love Sponge is a sick fuck, and he let his best friend fuck his wife, and he taped it behind his best friend's back, and then tried to sell it and distribute it to fucking retire.
I've heard a lot of rumors, and people think in that fashion.
And don't be uncomfortable by saying yes. That's what people think about your fucking ass.
That might be what people think, but I don't know. I don't think that. I didn't think that.
Okay, so being a radio guy and knowing this is kind of a radio fuckery, what do you think happened?
Well,
I didn't think
just your opinion.
I didn't think you were selling a tape to try and retire because my perception of you was that you will always be addicted to broadcasting. So why would you even do that? That's fucking stupid. It doesn't even make sense.
But what do you think the guy that's rolling around, the salesperson that's rolling around the iHeart building at TKS, or what do you think Linda Bird, like what? And nothing in a bad way.
Yeah.
Like what do you think the average person that's in radio thinks about what went down? Because they fucking hate my guts and think that I'm a scumbag.
Yeah, I think they think you secretly filmed him. He had no idea, and you did it for the publicity of, like, when the tape got leaked.
To put the show over, to get my 15 minutes of fucking fame.
Yeah.
I could see that. Yes.
I think at the time, that was a consensus of what everybody believed. Like, you did it on purpose. To get the publicity.
I didn't think it was like an
Bubba
escape
being
plan.
like Bubba being Bubba.
Yeah.
Loudmouth Bubba needs to, have a fucking sex tape deal.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be able to catapult that into being whatever the fuck he thinks he's going to be able to be.
Yeah, I think that's the general consensus.
Nobody knows that it was radio guys that stole it so that they could get me fired and take my job. Like we've all been part of radio wars. That's what we do. And back in the day, you'd steal like the music log and try to figure out their music rotation, and try to fucking call the hotline and prank call them.
See, we were too far removed from that. Like on our level, I think we were so small, even though we were successful, we were so small that our radio wars never got like that.
Yeah.
Never.
Well,
they never got to a point where it became a stealing or, Tudge, you were there. We'd throw some barbs. We'd yell some things.
Yeah. You'd show up at the remotes and fuck with them.
No, I never even did that. I'd make some jokes on the air. That's about as far as I ever went, because there were...
Yeah, when we were syndicated down to West Palm Beach, there was this show called The Love Doctors.
Yeah,
and
you go fuck with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd fuck with those guys.
They used to talk like mad shit about us, like all the time.
And then we talk mad shit about them, but that's as far as it went. Like there was no stealing, there was no showing up to the remotes.
Or catching them in a flub and they're cursing on the air and they're packaging it, sending it to the FCC. Because a lot of people don't realize, like, it's other radio guys that would make the FCC complaints. It wasn't...
now there's the advent of Twitter, so they just send it right to your clients. Fuck the FCC. They just get your clients against you.
Oh, yeah,
and things like that. But most people, most people don't have any idea that this is an inside radio fuck job, and that this tape was something that I certainly didn't ever want anybody to see. It was 3 adults that, that sexually moral compass probably isn't the same as the average person.
Well, that's your business. Yeah.
So whatever. I mean, how many people in radio are a little bit freaky, a little bit fucking crazy, and you don't really want the public to know. And nobody was supposed to ever know about any of this shit, and it was never going to get out. Had a guy that worked for me stole it, tried to extort Hogan. When that didn't work, and the FBI wouldn't file charges because I'm the victim, and I don't make a very good victim, then gave it to his radio buddy, and his radio buddy gave it to his agent to market it and subsequently take my job. And indeed, it worked. He took my job. He's been there for 6 years, been #1, laughing his way to a fucking bank, and it ruined my life. People don't know. I don't think most radio people know the truth. Now, the truth is, this is the truth. This is part of the trial transcripts. This is the current lawsuit that's being filed. This is all in discovery. This is how it went down. This isn't just my fucking opinion. But I think 95% of people in radio have no idea about that. And I'm asking you guys.
Yeah, well, I had no idea.
We didn't know.
I mean, even today, did you know?
No.
You do. I mean, even like before I just told you a second ago, you didn't know.
I did not know the details of that.
Tuttle, you want to give him the timeline how it all went down from an unbiased opinion? I mean, like how it went. Because I mean, by the way, and did you know Tuttle knew about it too?
Well, we had an idea.
I was working at the Bowen at the time.
Did you know Tuttle? Did you know Tuttle watched them watch the tape on the fucking computer?
Yeah.
And I still got this motherfucker around too. So Tuttle, tell him how. I mean,
his attitude just got better.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
So Tuttle, tell them how it went down.
I mean, the tape. See, we used to do these things called Bubba's garage sales, and we used to do stuff like that. And this tape was left open because Bubba didn't want to leave it at his house at the time. And the tapes were come across, and Spice Boy had taken the tape and watched it and found out what was on it and tried to shop it around to people. And there was an FBI sting that went on. And
did you guys know that?
Yeah, there was an FBI sting.
Tom and Dan, did you know that?
But I mean, like, because this is playing out now, this is obviously stuff that you can talk about then, right?
Well, yeah, that's why I'm able to talk about it, because it's a current public lawsuit. The Hogan is suing Mike Calta and Cox personally. And Matt Lloyd Spice Boy was shopping this tape. And the only people he could find that wanted to buy it was Hogan, who didn't want it out. Hogan called the FBI. The FBI set up a sting. And when the money was exchanged, they knocked the door down and arrested the bad guys.
This is some crazy shit, dude.
You didn't know that, did you?
No.
And so the U.S. attorney for this area refused to file charges because he was told, oh, my God, it's a shock jock and a pro wrestler. It's going to be a circus. So he let Spice Boy go. After Spice Boy got let go and there weren't no charges, the tape had no value except to give it to his best friend Calta, who gave it to his agent Tony Burton, who gave it to Gawker.
What are your...
Did you guys not know that?
No. I mean,
let me ask you a question. Does that change your perspective on this? Does that change your perspective on this?
when
And does that change your perspective on this? 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 And does that change your perspective on
Well,
And this is all in court documents.
I mean,
you can look at
I'll just be dead honest with you. This is a little heavy for me.
yeah.
Because like when I got into radio, like this is not the type of thing I would ever want to deal with ever. You know what I mean? Like so I can understand how.
So people I'm like, you don't understand, guys.
This is heavy, man.
Absolutely fucking ruined my life. Like I am obsessed with the truth getting out because when the truth comes out, listen, I take responsibility for my part. What
was your audience's take when you aired this out and you're?
Well, I mean, I've probably lost half my audience because half of the audience doesn't know. I wasn't for the longest time. I couldn't talk about this.
Right.
I could not even speak of this before this was a lawsuit. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
I could not talk about this, and I've only been able to talk about this probably I think the lawsuit's now 3. That's been going on for 3 years, But I instantaneously lost half of my audience just because everybody thinks I'm a fucking shady backstabbing cocksucker.
I'm interested when this all went down.
How do you guys not know that? Like, see, does the average guy in radio have no fucking idea? That's the problem.
And this is not just he said, she said stuff. I mean, there's court documents that you can actually, and I can get them for you.
I get it.
And you can look at them.
I'm trying to give you a good answer of why. I guess when you. I mean, we live in a time right now, I think, where headlines kind of reign supreme, right?
Yeah.
Do you read the article or you read the headline? You read the headline.
Yeah, no one deep dives into finding the truth about anything.
To be quite honest with you, I read the headline. I like this guy, that fucked his wife and the tape, and I'm like,
you make the jokes, you play the video.
Yeah. I mean, we don't ever, and this is probably the unfortunate aspect of this is that it's not one of those things where I've ever sat back and thought, gee, I wonder how Bubba actually feels about this. Because you are, like, I'll go back to what I originally said when I met you this morning. It's like intimidating and you have this reputation behind you. And I think sometimes it's very easy to cast those type of people aside. And it's unfair, but it's based on your reputation.
And the thing about it, Dan, Tom,
what'd you say, shock jock and wrestler? I get what that guy is saying. Yeah.
But now hold on, you want to hear this? This was all while I was still the morning man there, and he was afternoon drive. He did all this while I was still the morning guy. And then when our deal was done, they fired me and promoted him to do our show based on I was the bad guy. They didn't want to have them. They didn't want their morning guy to be part of the biggest, fucking over Hulk Hogan thing ever. So they got rid of me. And so then I go across the street to Beasley 98.7, and I call up. What do? We call up our competition and start fucking with them. And so I'm on 98.7 in Tampa. This is in 2015. And April. This is April 22nd, 2015. Now the original tape that got me fired, my ex-wife Heather, and Hogan's minute 41 sex tape came out in October of 2012. So all of 13 and all of 14, I'm working there, but Kauta is telling everybody, oh my God, can you believe how much of a fucking shady bastard he is? And that's our morning guy. And see, since we're not in the building, we don't know what's going on over there. And there's this whole big, and Tuttle was over there the entire time. And it's like the whole building was like, oh my God, what a fucking backstabbing motherfucker. Nobody knows that I didn't do it, that the guy that's doing all this stuff is the guy that did it. So we get fired in September of 14. We come back in January of 05 across the street on a rock station here. So in April of 2015, we call Mike Kauta. Now, there's only been one tape released at this point, right? And then their second tape, the second sex tape, there were two.
No, I didn't know that part.
There was two. The second,
I'm way out of the loop on all of this.
The second, I think it was just the first sex tape, a different like longer, like a different, like when he was saying goodbye, when Hogan was leaving, and him and Heather had a conversation, and that's when the N word was dropped. So 4 months before that tape hit in the National Enquirer in July of 2015. In April of 2015, I have Kauta live on the air, and he says this.
I heard there's a couple other sex tapes that are coming out because you're a scumbag that videotaped your friends banging your wife.
In 4 months before anybody in the world, including myself, knew that there was a second tape. This motherfucker says this to me live on the air.
I heard there's a couple other sex tapes that are coming out because you're a scumbag that videotaped your friends banging your wife.
Meanwhile, he's the guy that released the first one and was strategically going to release the second one in July.
When does this become? Because I'll be real with you, man. This is a little overwhelming for me. Like, when does it, like, for you, this stuff's happening.
It's fucking ruined. You guys understand? Like, it's ruined
how are
my
you
fucking
even?
life.
How are you not in
In a mental ward.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, Tom, we talk about my anxiety. We talk about my depression. I'm on medication for
I'm
it.
not.
I'm very open about it. I talk to the listeners. I try to help them out, you know, because I think...
No, they all fucking make fun of me. And they all say, oh, let it go. Just let it go. Move on. Be positive. I can't. I absolutely fucking cannot.
It's too overwhelming for me, like the whole thing. Like I wouldn't want to be involved in any of it. I wouldn't want to be on either side.
The stress, my God.
Like, because I don't have beef with like you or Mike or any, you know, with nobody. I literally try to play that, and it's impossible. But you try to play that like, hey, I like everybody role. But I look at this just as the layman, and now hearing more parts of the story, and I'm like, this is too overwhelming. This is like soul crushing type shit. Yeah. I don't care what side you're on. If you're on the side like doing it, or if you're on the side receiving it, it's just too much. It's just it's too heavy.
What did Hogan think? Like, you know, how is your relationship?
He sued Gawker.
And
got 141 million. Of which he took 35. They end up getting 35 million. I don't know what his percentage was that, but it's destroyed our friendship. We can't be friends. I want to be his friend, but you know, obviously he's, you know, not real happy about this, and he's obviously in litigation with Cox, so you know he doesn't want to act like we're buddies. But this motherfucker right here,
I heard there's a couple other sex tapes.
How does this guy right here? And I'm not asking you guys to draw sides. I really am not. I'm just trying to give you.
Yeah, no. I mean,
you know, this
all
is all
we can
part
do
of
is go and talk to you and hear what you have to say. You know what I mean?
But how can this guy have been so handsomely promoted and rewarded to the fact that he's the highest paid guy in Tampa? He basically was what I am. He's basically what I am, what I was now. He is the #1 rated guy on the big FM talk for the last 6 years. And I am absolutely a fucking joke. I'm an absolute pathetic, backstabbing cocksucker in Tampa, Florida. You go down to the mall and you ask anybody, tell us about Bubba Love Sponge. Well, he's a no good, cheating, fucking backstabbing motherfucker is what he is. Because nobody believes me, and the media has not covered this very much at all. And it's currently being unwound now through the judicial system, which the slow wheels of justice now has this 3 years deep. Tuttle, do me a favor. Find me the Josh Rojas, Bay News 9, Hogan latest. Because
Josh Rojas?
Josh Rojas.
Okay.
There's been a couple of television stations that have started covering this kind of somewhat recently, and they break it right on down. And see if you can find me the one with the phone records, which, by the way, Tuttle was in on the phone records as well.
How do you, you know, this all goes down. You know, you're dealing with it. You deal with it day to day. How do you even get in here and try to do a show? Or you know what I mean? Like I don't know if I would be able to do that. I might go if something like this happened to me.
The amount of stress put on you.
I think you know me pretty well, Tom. I think I might just choose a different thing. I just go down and work at Ace Hardware or something. You know, work at Home Depot. Just to sit there, cut chain for old men and give them some drill bits and shit. Like I don't know if I could.
If I can play this for you guys.
Yeah.
This is from one of the television stations here in town. You see. Okay, play video.
Oh, they make you jump through a lot of hoops.
Yeah, they do.
Mike Cowhead Calta can be heard on Cox Radio in the morning on 102.5 The Bone. Calta can also be seen on Bone TV. In a lawsuit, Hulk Hogan alleges that Calta conspired with other Cox employees to leak a secretly recorded sex video with Bubba Clem's wife, a video that ruined the wrestler's career. The most damaging...
how about my career? Right?
leak was to the National Enquirer in July of 2015.
All right, so July of 2015, right, guys? April 22nd of 2015, when he's live on my show.
I heard there's a couple other sex tapes that are coming out because you're a scumbag that videotaped your friends banging your wife.
How is this guy not in jail, guys?
The Enquirer reported Hogan using the N-word to refer to black people which he apologized for. This week, Hogan's attorney asked a judge for more than 3 years' worth of Calta's phone records to prove he was behind the leak.
It coincided with these two, with Cox and Mr. Calta being involved in a radio war with Bubba Clem.
According to the lawsuit, Calta conspired with Matt Spiceboy Lloyd to leak the sex video as revenge to rival shock jock Bubba Clem, who was Hogan's best friend at the time. According to the complaint, a police investigation found that around January of 2012,
Police investigations. Like this is done by the cops. This isn't.
Lloyd stole the sex DVDs from Bubba's Tampa office and made copies. The suit states that video began circulating amongst Cox employees.
By the way, Tuttle saw it.
Yeah, I did.
At the building.
What do you think?
I mean, he had a big dick.
Hold on. Quiet.
Calta had his agent, Tony Burton, send a portion of the Hogan sex video anonymously to Gawker.
We represent Mr. Calta, Mike Calta. The plaintiffs continually, impermissibly lump all of the defendants together and try to assert to the court that there's this conspiracy and all of them are involved.
Lloyd's accused of leaking information and some of the contents of the sex video to tabloid websites in April of 2012. During that,
I'm out of breath.
I'm out of breath.
There's just a picture of Hulk Hogan sitting on the bed.
Like you just did an hour hardcore match with
I'm
Mick
sorry,
Foley.
Bubba, what you're hearing there is nervous laughter
all
because
right.
I got to be honest with you, man.
It's all right.
This is a little too much for me.
Let me just play the end of it
Yeah,
so you
no,
can have
this
even
is-
further. So
this
you and
is-
I can go out back and kill each other.
No, this stress level is
My God.
I'm very
And
stressed
people don't
right now.
realize, like, even like I come in here every day like a fucking working man and try to do the best show I can. But
Yeah.
this has literally got me wanting to fucking kill myself. Hold on here.
at that same time, Cox gave Lloyd his own radio show. Records obtained by TPD also show that Lloyd called TMZ 38 times that year. In court, Lloyd's attorney denied his client did anything wrong.
Mr. Vogt wants to know whether Mr. Lloyd has spoken to TMZ 38 times in 2012. Sure he has. That was part of his job. Did he talk
Part of working for me, we didn't call it TMZ 38 times. Like Barry.
to Mike Calta? Sure, they were friends. They've known each other for a long time, Judge.
This week, Hogan's attorney also asked for Lloyd, his wife, and their friends' phone records. Lloyd's friend and attorney were busted in December of 2012 in an FBI sting while trying to sell Hogan back the DVDs for $300,000.
Did I lie about a fucking thing?
We already know that these phone records are going to show communications between these individuals that are going to help establish a conspiracy. So this isn't just a shot in the dark. It's not a fishing expedition.
Judge Cynthia Newton ruled that a log showing all of Mike Calta and Matt Lloyd's phone calls from March of 2012 to July of 2015 must be turned over by their cell provider to Hogan's attorneys.
Call logs or records of calls.
You guys had no idea about this.
No,
did you?
I got to be
Crazy.
real with you, man. This is the type of stuff, and this isn't a slight on anybody, but this is the type of
By
stuff.
the way, this is a good master show, isn't it?
Oh, no, see, this is probably one of the most craziest ones we've ever done.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
For me, normally we just talk about, like, what kind of, do you have any pets?
What
You know?
city did you grow up in?
Yeah, but yeah, I don't normally. We're like, how was your grandma? This one to me, I got to be honest with you, man. This is one of the things that makes me really glad I'm not in radio anymore. Like really in radio. Like, yeah, we're the night show on TKS, but it's live to tape. I send it to them using Dropbox. We use about $600 worth of equipment in a nice studio. But do you agree with that?
Yeah, no, 100%.
This is so stressful to me right now. I don't like it.
It is, and I don't want to even switch subjects, but I wrote something down at the beginning of our conversation with the Chatting with the Masters because I was going to talk about a time where it kind of.
By the way, you're the one that asked this forbidden fruit question.
I
That
know,
got us down this rabbit hole.
No. I'm glad.
Great job, Chisholm.
That you
No,
talked
but
about it.
I think we
because
got in. I think we peeled this motherfucker back way back.
Well, people.
Oh, I think people.
didn't know.
I didn't know, but I know our listeners will appreciate the fact that we took a little deep
So what was
dive.
your question you wrote down?
Well, okay, because there was a time, and I wanted to see how you felt about this. So there's a time when like the big corporations, Clear Channel, whatever, it had to do with doing our podcast. Basically, we had started our podcast. It was uncensored. They didn't even know. They gave us permission to do it, but they didn't know what it was. They didn't know what podcasting was. But anyway, but when it got bigger and more popular, they basically came to us and like, hey, you're cursing on this show, and this is where you come in. And they're like,
oh, yes, we do have a connection here.
So they're like, the reason they wanted to shut it down, and they're like, we don't want you to do this anymore because Bubba the Love Sponge, basically, he was cursing on his uncensored show, and the N-word got out, and one of his competitors recorded it and then sent it to McDonald's, and he lost a giant sponsor, and we don't want that happening. What if someone records you cursing and then sends it to our sponsors? So literally, they're using you as an example to stop us from doing an uncensored podcast.
Use you to basically pull our shows down because they were like, look, it already happened to him. It's going to happen to you.
Yeah. And it was just a weird.
I forgot about that. I'm glad you remembered that. Yeah, that's absolutely true.
And it was one of the reasons why we left terrestrial radio is because
then later we heard that it never happened. Then later we heard that no one ever pulled. You never lost a sponsor.
No, and I don't, and it didn't go down. What they're reciting wasn't how it went down.
Right.
Like they're completely.
It's a telephone game again. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. What had happened was this: is that I was in Matt Lloyd, Spice Boy. Before he left, I didn't know, and you know about the Vermont teddy bear thing, don't you, Tuttle?
Yes. Yeah.
So I had an African American former football player in my production room, like in 1999, over at the old iHeart building, Clear Channel building on Gandy. And he's a former Buccaneer. He's a black guy. And I was doing a Vermont teddy bear commercial tape. And it was him and I in a production room. And we were talking like guys do, like the way we do. And I was talking about how this Vermont get a Vermont teddy bear for your girl who might have had sex with a black guy because she's got jungle fever. Because this black guy was really laying the coals to her. And my buddy was talking and like, because he was a black guy, and we were using the N-word back and forth like people probably do privately.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just having one hell of a time. And we were in the presence of my African-American friend. And little did I know, Matt Lloyd stole that outtake of me and my friend, cut out my friend, and then marketed and showed, and so this wasn't even a podcast or even an uncensored. This was a private tape.
In 99?
From 99.
Oh, so this is just you cutting ads.
Yeah, from me cutting ads using outtakes with my African-American friend, and that was the first shot they tried to use to take me down with Cox. That was the first shot they fired to try to get me fired from Cox.
Yeah, and who would have thought that without even, because you probably didn't know that ripple effect hit us.
No.
Isn't that crazy?
No.
I mean, that's what makes me, that's the part of the radio business. Because look, no one will love radio more than me. I love it. But this shit's bullshit.
And all of it demonizes me. And some of it is true. But it's just apps. You're right. It's fucking bullshit.
It's not the fun part of why we all got into doing this. I got into doing radio because I like doing voices and doing parody songs, and Tom liked doing stunts, and you want the crowd and you want to make people smile, you want to make them laugh and do this kind of shit. But does it get so competitive to a point where then it becomes this really fucked up, toxic, let's fucking all destroy each other? I mean, I can't do that.
Did you think about giving up, Bubba? Like after all the shit?
I've thought about really, honestly.
When you say I want to kill myself, is that is that real shit?
Yeah, I've thought about it. I think that I'm secure enough in not killing myself that I can say that I've thought about killing myself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna kill myself, but I have laid in bed when I was, at one time, guys.
I know what you're going to say. I don't want to wake up.
Well,
I've done that one.
It was just fairly recent ago that I lived. I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but I lived in a 31-foot travel trailer behind the. You know where that dump trailer is? That dump trailer out back.
Yeah.
I had a 31 just up until just up until June.
Yeah, tell them how big your mansion was, though. Like,
find me the Ned. Find me the Ned gives Bubba. Remember the Ned tour?
Yeah.
You guys will fucking. I had it all. I had it all. And this fucking sex tape has ruined my life to the point where I have fallen so down that clear up until June 9th, which is what, 2 months ago? June 9th, I lived in a 31-foot travel trailer right behind the station.
That's crazy.
And I used to lay in bed at night and say, if I just take enough fucking pills, I've never talked about this on the air. I was going to get fully dressed because when I die, I don't want anybody to find me fucking naked.
Yeah,
no. So I was going to get fully dressed, like, maybe in a Bubba Army shirt and just, take a fucking, every pill I had and die. And I figured I might as well just die at the station. It would be at least the boys would find me.
Yeah.
But I used to think,
FCC Gator maybe find you.
Yeah, maybe the FCC Gator will get me.
Yeah, he pulls you into the leg.
That's before I even had fucking goats.
Pulls you into the leg and starts eating your knees off.
Bubba the Love Sponge, we were going to maybe hopefully have his remains, but the goat ate his carcass. And the gator, we're going to have to actually kill the gator and try to open his belly up to get Bubba out of there. Because the Tom and Dan FCC gator fucking ate him.
Well, it's Tom's gator.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't want any part of this stress. Like right now, if you could see the pit stains in my shirt from sweating. Well, it's the Bang energy drink too, but still, this is such a stressful story, dude.
You know what? I don't like reading chat a lot because it gets in my fucking head. But the guy said if Bubba killed himself at the station, the FCC would fine him.
There, I sent it to you.
That's pretty funny.
Kat, see if you can find me the call log. I was trying to do a global search on the call log. They did a story about the call log.
Okay.
But this was my house, guys. And
look how big this fucking place was.
And guys, I'm not playing this from a sense of boasting.
Oh no, we want to know. Like we're asking the questions.
Right.
Yeah, I want to know
just to see where he came from.
I don't give a fuck. How rich were you? Like that's it. I want to know.
Oh, here we go. This is my house that I lived here for 20 years. I built this house. I bought the lot. I built it. And I wish I could still have.
Who lives there now? Do you know?
No, whoever I sold it to.
Okay, gotcha.
It was 5264 61st Avenue South is where I lived, and of course we had to make fun of it. Like we made fun of it, of course, like we do everything.
Yeah.
But here's a tour of my house. When they were marketing my house, to sell it, they made this little video, and then of course we made a fucking overdub voice deal to make fun of it. Here we go. But you'll get to be able to see what my house looked like. My old house. The house that I lost.
Let's take a ride on this drone. Straight down, like Bubba's career. Free falling, until Howard Stern tries to save you. But then you head straight down again. Down, until you wind up here, selling your house. Let's go inside.
It's not that big.
Oh, Jesus. Only Indiana pure white trash would have a monkey picture hanging in the living room.
I did have a monkey picture hanging because that's my shit.
Well, man, I shouldn't have mixed mushrooms and amoebos. Here's the dining room. Mandatory over-the-top hillbilly chandelier. Check. Oh,
actually, Ned makes it far more funny than it really is.
I gotta poop. Where's the bathroom? False alarm. This kitchen may look beautiful on the outside, but it's been beaten down with more than a decade of overeating. I guarantee that's Chinese grizz, ain't it?
That's a big fucking house, man.
Let's check out the view.
6,600 or something like that.
Oh, I see he put away his telescope he used to spy at Richard Fabrizi when he was in the shower. Oh, God. And, of course, every Indiana Hilljack has to have a wine rack to show he's sophisticated. High-dollar leather pit group, $15,000. Having your own black felt Bubba Army pool table, tasteless. All right, let's just move along. This is taking forever. Let's speed this shit up.
Here's my office.
Behold, the ego room. I'd haul all that out to the dump. Oops, I'm supposed to go near the sex slaves housed on the right. Let's just detour through the guest bathroom.
That's the pool bath.
And now,
this is my bedroom.
Here's where the magic happened. And I'm talking a load of magic. I'm talking David Copperfield and Chris Angel in a magic Eiffel Tower. All on tape, of course. Brother! And now, the master bathroom. Where a fat man shaved
that's
his
a big-ass bathroom.
Yeah, that's
oh, my God.
4-man shower.
Here for over 15 years. And rumor has it, this is the bathtub where Sumo got tricked by a Filipino ladyboy.
Sumo's one of my best friends.
Too many peasant brownies.
Too many pot brownies.
And now, out to the patio and pool area. How lovely. Look at that clear blue water.
Oh, Tom, that's way better than your place.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Please insert your own manatee jokes if you desire. But what a magnificent outdoor area to entertain family or friends. If you had any friends, let's take a nice panoramic view of these. Wait, is there a camera up in it?
Even this is littered with like lots of jokes, from Ned, and it's like funny stuff. does that?
Where?
I wonder if that has in. Yeah, does that beat you down?
Yeah, it does. Because I built that house.
I mean, it's super funny.
And lived there 20 years. But yeah, it's my way of coping to just make fun of it, because if not, I'd just be fucking, upset.
I think you and I do that, TC. You know, we do a lot of, like, if the shit's real, you might as well just air it out.
Make fun of it.
Yeah, you gotta make fun of it.
What a freak. Oh, well, let's stagger up the stairs. Guess I shouldn't have huffed that paint. Get a load of this. Bubba is so fat. How fat is he? He's so fat, he has a second kitchen upstairs, so he doesn't have to burn 1 calorie going down the steps. What a fat.
Look at his theater room coming out. This is the most impressive thing.
Oh, second kitchen is dope.
Look at this theater room he had upstairs.
A 10-seat home movie theater. And if you look real close, you can almost see the image of Hulk Hogan's ass cheeks burned onto the screen. What do we have here? Another huge bathroom, inglorious, all white, like Jesus himself was dropping a deuce in there.
So he went from this to living in a trailer behind the radio station.
That's about all the footage from inside the house. Let's check out some drone footage and pretend that Bubba didn't use this drone to film Tina Fabrizi sunbathing nude. Want to buy this fat creep's house? Give him a call.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
I lived on an island. See, there was an island, out there.
Yeah.
Whatever. So there you go.
That is, and man, have you ever thought about
killing myself? Sure.
No. a documentary about telling your whole story from I'm talking from the beginning of radio days till now. I mean, it's fucking super interesting story.
I mean, even we have a documentary. It would be nowhere as interesting as this shit. This is some good shit. Yeah. Our documentary is, oh, look at these 2 fat dads. They got a kid.
There's so much shit that's happened to you that's been hugely publicized, and then the opulence and the money, and then not, and I mean, it's a pretty compelling story.
Fucking ride, man. It's a ride.
They're like, it's not really. It's too inside baseball. The people that I've talked to as far as doing like a documentary and what have you, have been like, I'm like, listen, it's the biggest fucking whodunit fuck job sex tape deal ever. A guy, stole the sex tape, distributed it, got me fired, took my job, has been rewarded for it, has been heralded, as the guy, and I didn't. It didn't go down the way it, it's kind of inside.
Well, I mean, there's a documentary about the whole trial. I mean, the whole Gawker. I mean, there's that on Netflix. I mean, and that's a portion of it. Right?
Bubba Clem gave us an exclusive
I'm wearing my pajamas during this interview.
look at the second floor storage area of his Tampa radio studio.
There's Matt Lloyd.
Bubba says his employee at the time, Matt Spice Boy Lloyd, snooped through these boxes and stole his DVDs in 2012.
That's the upstairs.
Tampa police say Lloyd then made copies of the videos that began circulating at Cox Radio. Those DVDs contain
What's up, brother?
secretly recorded videos of Bubba's former best friend, Hulk Hogan, having sex with his...
To me, I think this is a real sexy fucking twist that 95% of the people don't know. That's going to end up being one of the largest,
It's so crazy. It's
unbelievable.
It doesn't seem.
His wife, Heather Cole, back in 2007.
I take responsibility. I should have destroyed it. Or better yet, I should never made it.
Gawker published a portion of a sex video in October of 2012. Hogan sued the tabloid website for invasion of privacy, and a Pinellas jury awarded him $141 million in damages. Gawker went bankrupt and settled for $31 million. Now Hogan's looking to recover.
I'm out of breath, brother. Tom, I'm out of breath, brother. Tag me in, Tommy.
Even that whole portion of the story is just nuts.
It's just so bizarre, man.
You can't even write this shit now, can you?
Cover the balance of the damages from the people he believes leaked and sold that video.
That haircut, is
According to court records, it was a conspiracy involving shock jock Mike Kelta, Lloyd, Cox Radio, and a few associates. Hogan says he was a victim of radio wars between Bubba and those rivals who wanted to eliminate Clem as competition.
That's exactly what happened. We have to eliminate Clem as competition. This is how we take him out.
Hogan.
I mean, guys, let's not forget that this came out 3 months before.
I heard there's a couple other sex tapes that are coming out.
I mean, doesn't your big mouth just pretty much fuck you on this? If you're gonna say this on my show in April and then July you roll out with a big fucking N-word, who done it?
I heard there's a couple other sex tapes that are coming out.
Do you think it is because just your reputation, Bubba? Just people like, oh,
they don't want me to be a victim. I don't play a good victim.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
And so that's basically what it boils down to.
Yes.
It's like
it's a perfect storm.
The general public is like, oh, this
Fuck
guy,
Bubba.
shock
He's
jock.
got what's coming to him.
Yeah. He's been pushing.
He
the
let his
limits.
buddy fuck his wife. That's what he gets.
Yeah.
That's kind of what. That's kind of what people think.
This is part of a radio war that I was supposed to be arrested in. And to prepare.
Oh, yeah, by the way, you'll see correspondence now. They wanted me arrested because when this first came out in 2012, if I got arrested, then certainly Cox would get rid of me. That's what they wanted me to get arrested.
Tell him to mornings, which it did, and to Matt Lloyd to afternoons, which it didn't, and caused me to lose my job, which it did, but I didn't get arrested.
Back in April, a judge ruled that Hogan could get phone and text records from the defendants. According to this
now watch you see this
newly amended complaint, those records nearly amount to a smoking gun. They show a big spike in communications between Calta.
These are the actual phone records here, guys, right? So this is more data than you had before the first time.
His agent Tony Burton, Lloyd, and Cox Radio executives during the leaks of the sex video.
I don't understand how it's survivable. I don't understand how my
I look real fat there.
account is still there. I mean, I don't. Other than they're probably.
I think I've lost 10 pounds.
I don't know how you can joke right now. Like I get so stressed out right now.
Yeah.
I know.
God damn.
Remember those stars I was telling you about?
I honestly don't
Do I need
know.
to fucking hard sell them anymore? Or are you going to take 12 of them?
The part of chatting with the masters, right here is like I have to point out that there's no way I would survive this.
No.
That I would not. No matter what side I'm on, I don't want to be on any side. It's too heavy. It's too much.
It's good to be on the other fucking side because you've been number one making $600,000 for 6 years now.
Him as an employee until this settles or is tried so that they can control his testimony.
According to the lawsuit, Hogan's life was ruined when racist
His life?
remarks he made on the sex video was leaked to the National Enquirer. Bubba says the leaked video also ruined him.
It's made me be public enemy number one. I'm the scumbag that taped my best friend having sex with my wife. And that may be true. I didn't distribute it. I didn't sell it.
And I've owned it, guys. Like, I mean, I'm not trying
there's
to...
Tuttle.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't do
Wearing
anything.
wearing his dad jacket.
You didn't do anything illegal or harming anybody.
No.
Everybody was, that's the thing.
There's 3 consenting adults doing our own fucking shit that was nobody ever was going to know about. And I've owned up. And don't you think that don't I think I've paid my fucking price? I mean, God damn.
I didn't distribute it. I didn't sell it.
Bubba, the former star of Cox Radio, now broadcasts his show on the internet and
There you go.
Twitch TV. In Tampa, Josh Rojas, Spectrum,
Yep, there
Bay
it is.
News
That wraps
9.
it up nicely.
Yeah, man.
Fucking A.
Well, that is the most 0 to 1,000 chatting with the masters.
Hold on. 0 to 1,000 back to fucking minus 100.
It's just too much, man. I honestly don't know what else to say. Like, that I use this analogy on our show a lot about like the way I felt when I left the theater after watching Natural Born Killers. It gave me this really heavy feeling. I feel that right now. Like that's exhausting to me.
Yeah, just everything like,
and I'm not even involved.
And the lawyers and like, I mean,
the money.
How many
time?
How many courtrooms have you been in, Bubba? Like lawsuits and all that. Does it? I mean,
it's just so fucked.
It's a lifetime, right?
Oh yeah. Actually though, Danny, Tom, I'm 4-0 jury trial. I've had 4 jury trials and I'm 4-0. I've never lost a jury trial ever.
Yeah, but especially because it seems like the things that the people want to take you down for are ridiculous. Especially the hog thing, and I don't know what the other trials are about.
So guys, the last little thing I'd like to play for you, and we can do this as I could talk till 7 o'clock at night with you fucks. But the last part is the original sex tape gets released in like October 4th of 2012, and it's a big fucking shitstorm. And I'm bad. I'm the bad guy. And Cox calls me in like, what the fuck? And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what happened. And Hogan hates my guts. Hogan hates my fucking guts.
Yeah, your world's falling apart.
I mean,
right?
Hogan hates my fucking guts. I still am hanging on to my morning show, but I mean, everybody fucking hates me. They think that it went down the way that people think it went down. And Hogan, hates my guts. And I'm, talking to the FBI and I'm testifying, trying to tell everybody, try the FBI and the Tampa PD, who I think took it and where it was, where it was at, and just trying to cooperate. So we can, and I know in my heart, that I didn't do it. That I didn't send it to Gawker. They didn't find out who did. Matt Lloyd. They let him go. So in April of 2013, I'm still the morning man. And Hogan, nobody knows that Mike Calta had anything to do with this. People don't find out Mike Calta did it until after the Hogan-Gawker trial in March of 2016, because the investigation discovering that Calta did it was part of the sealed FBI file. So the file didn't become unsealed until the day after the trial. So the day after Hogan beats Gawker, then people that know to look go and look at the unsealed document, and it finds out who sent the tape to Gawker, okay? And Hogan's people were smart. The first trial, they're like, we'll sue the people who published it, and then we'll wait for the second trial to sue the people who sent it. So it was really strategically done by Hogan, and he's doing he's doing the smart thing to do to take another second bite at the apple. So in April of 2013, nobody knows that Calta did this. Nobody. And so Mike Calta has Hogan in the studio. Now, think about that. You did this guy dirty, but you're trying to have him in the studio and play like you're the good guy left on the station, and the morning guy, the guy who is your best friend, is the one that fucked you over, right? So can you think about so do you guys agree that sometimes subconsciously you can't help say something, or a lot of times like just your psyche may take over? Like, almost speaking in tongues. Yeah. So Hogan says... this is 5 months after this tape's been released. Everybody thinks that I'm the fucking cocksucker. And Hogan comes into the Cox Studios with Mike Calta. Little does Hogan know that this guy's the one that really did it. Mike Calta knows. And Hogan says, you know what? I don't have any problems with you because you've never done anything to me. And listen to Mike Calta absolutely fucking short-circuit himself.
Never actually crossed the line and did something that was,
No, and that's the thing. I what do you consider? I mean, I might have crossed the line. No, I don't. I consider crossing the line. You and I can have as much beef as we want. We never.
That has never been edited. It's not been spliced together. Tuttle will tell you that is 1,000% of what the guys, when Hogan says, listen, I like you, buddy.
The little recordings and the thing, it's too fucking much, man. I'm going to freak out. It's too heavy.
But listen, so this guy fucking Dan, if you did me so fucking dirty and I said, I mean dirty, Dan, and I'm in your studio and I go, Dan, you know what? God bless you. Russ Rollins really fucked me over, but goddamn, I love you, Dan. Thank you. You never did me over. And you're going, and then it just is too much for you to fucking be able to take. And you're live on the radio. Sometimes live shit gets away from you, right?
Yeah,
how many times have we been like you fuck up? And so subconsciously, Calta completely fucking short wires himself. I'll play it again. Tuttle, verify that this has never been edited.
It's never been edited.
Here we go.
Never actually crossed the line and did something that was,
No, and that's the thing. I what do you consider? I mean, I might have crossed the line. No, I don't. I consider crossing the line. You and I can have as much beef as we want. We never.
I mean, to be quite honest with you, that's how my co-host Tom talks every day. Yeah. So,
Tom, how do you feel, Tom?
No, and that's the thing.
Tom,
that is how you talk.
I'm a bumbler.
Yeah,
doesn't necessarily mean, but I know what you're saying. But again, like Daniel was saying, it's
you're doing it right now. You're completely just locking yourself up.
You don't know what he took out of your shed.
The amount of stress this all pans out to be
too stressful, dude.
Is crazy.
I don't know how you or anyone can even.
Hey, Todd, see if you can find that video. I think it's on our YouTube channel because I want the guys to see the video before I let them go. I want them to see the actual video so that you know that it's not been fucking edited. I know it's on our YouTube if you can find it.
All right, hold on.
Thank you, Pat. And sorry for being a short order cook today, Pat.
No, it's fine.
it seems like the days of like radio, at least terrestrial radio wars, are coming to an end.
I think this one was the fucking. I think this was the Nagasaki of radio wars. It's fucking. It's destroyed everything in its path.
And I mean, because it's.
Thank you, Caveman.
Never actually.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Go ahead. Go ahead, Dan. Or Dan. Go ahead, Tom.
No, I'm just saying, like, and because in the podcast world, it seems like a lot of people, kind of like craft beer world, that you partner up, you try to help each other out.
Yeah, your buddies.
Yeah, we co-op with a lot of people. We collaborate. You know, we do stuff like I enjoy that a lot. This kind of stuff, man. This is the reason I'm glad I'm not on. I don't have another 5-year deal. I don't have a 3-year deal. I don't have to negotiate my bonuses. Any of this kind of stuff. I don't have beef with any other shows that are on the station that I just can't do it.
Yeah.
Here is, guys. This is from Calta's studio feed from April of 2013. And poor Hogan doesn't know that the guy that he's saying thank you to is the guy that really fucked it all up. And I just want you guys to see so that it's not been edited in any way, shape, or form.
Never actually crossed the line and did something that was,
No, and that's the thing. What do you consider? I mean, I might have crossed the line. No, I don't. I consider crossing the line. You and I can have as much beef as we want. I know we never.
I.
Oh, did you guys ever see this, man?
God Almighty, that is. I couldn't do what you do. It's too much. It's too fucking stressful, dude.